decentraLIVE.
Welcome back to decentraLIVE, the show that keeps you on top of the latest news in crypto and blockchain. As always, I'm Tracy Trachsler.
Tracy, guess what?
What?
I'm Owen McCall. Big show today. A lot to talk about. We're going through the crypto banks in Switzerland. That's exciting. Then we're moving on to what's happening in the States. They got some cool blockchain applications. Talking about big Mr. Craig Wright. And then finally, we'll give you the update about the Libra project. But first, let's get into the markets. Here's a look at the 7-day movement across the biggest movers and shakers in the crypto markets. There we go, up on screen for you now. Of course, the last 7 days of the top 5 cryptocurrencies by current market cap. It's looking a little bit bearish, unfortunately, but hey, you know what? You can't win them all. So, there he is. Speak of the devil. So, starting up, Bitcoin down 5% for the week. Currently sitting right at that $9,505 US mark. Moving on, a little bit worse for the wear. There's Ethereum just under 9% down over the last 7 days. Currently sitting at $170.50. XRP faring a little bit better, just about 4.5% down over the week. Currently sitting at $0.253 US. Bitcoin Cash suffering a little more, down nearly 5% there. Currently sitting at $284.30. And finally, Litecoin feeling the heat there, nearly 11% down for the week. Currently sitting at $65.49.
Thank you, Owen. On to today's stories, and today we're kicking things off with a story right here out of our own backyard. Earlier this week, the Swiss Financial Market Supervisory Authority, FINMA, issued the very first set of banking and securities dealer licenses to 2 Swiss blockchain companies, Thema Crypto AG and Sygnum AG. With this move, Thema and Sygnum will be able to close an important gap between traditional banks and the digital asset world. Now, according to a statement released on the company's website, Thema will use the newly obtained license to roll out a trading platform in October of this year as part of a joint cooperative effort with private bank Julius Baer. Thema raised an impressive $100 million Swiss francs during its September 2018 funding round. And in addition to the new trading platform, the company also plans on introducing a custody and asset management service for professional individuals, companies, and institutional clientele. Meanwhile, Sygnum aims to use its license to deploy a custody and liquidity platform that would list major digital assets, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, and digital Swiss franc tokens. The company's solution advances a digital ecosystem that was built in partnership with Swisscom and Deutsche Börse AG. Of course, this news all comes after FINMA recently published a guide on regulatory requirements for payments on the blockchain on August 26th. Now, these new guidelines for virtual asset providers apply to blockchain service providers, such as crypto exchanges, wallet providers, and trading platforms. According to FINMA, the newly introduced laws aim to prevent money laundering and terrorist financing by requiring all firms that provide blockchain services in the country to adhere to AML and KYC policies. Given these new guidelines, it's all the more exciting that Thema and Sygnum managed to obtain licenses, and we hope to see others, including recent license applicant Bitcoin Swiss, follow suit.
Fantastic news for the crypto and blockchain ecosystem as a whole. No more on your knees begging if you're a crypto company looking for somewhere to put your money.
Exactly. I mean, I think the hope here really is that it'll allow others to follow suit in the near future, right?
Absolutely grow the space. We do have to say, though, these are conditional licenses contingent on sort of successfully implementing a certain amount of other requirements.
Correct.
However, great first step. And looking forward to what the future brings. Now, moving on over to the good old US of A now, with reports coming out pegging the U.S. Air Force as the latest government organization looking to incorporate blockchain technology into their operations. We're not just talking real-life airdrops here, people. No, looking like some interesting applications. Now, a little backstory here. It turns out that when it comes to the Air Force, replacement pieces needed for battlefield equipment repairs are created in many cases via 3D printing. Now, the plans and blueprints for these pieces would no doubt constitute highly sensitive data, and here's where blockchain comes in. Reportedly, the Air Force is launching a pilot project. Get it? Pilot? No. Anyways, named the Blockchain Approach for Supply Chain Additive Manufacturing Parts, or Basecamp for short. A lot catchier. Basecamp will use the Simba blockchain, which is a Department of Defense-funded joint project bringing together the computing department of the University of Notre Dame and Indiana technology and manufacturing company ITAM Co. Now, SIMBA will be relied upon to provide the Air Force with a tamper-proof database of blueprints for the already mentioned battlefield-ready 3D printers. Pretty dang cool. Now, I've got to channel my inner late-night infomercial presenter to bring you a big fat, but wait, there's more. Turns out the U.S. Air Force is also going to be relying on blockchain tech to compile and host a ton of data stemming from, well, really diverse sources. We're talking drones, planes, satellites, etc. A major task, no doubt, and one that the Air Force is reportedly leaning on blockchain firm Constellation to carry out. We've got a quote now from Constellation CEO Benjamin Jorgensen now. Quote, the move by the United States government to work with early-stage businesses and early innovation shows a massive shift by the public sector to leaders in revolutionizing existing infrastructures by adopting new technologies that protect consumers' privacy while tackling futuristic visions of the connected world and joining the private sector in the $50 billion industry of big data. But wait, there's even more. The Air Force will reportedly also launch a project looking to track standard aerospace parts with blockchain tech via startup 14BIS. Commenting on the situation, the managing director of the in-house Air Force Accelerator, Warren Katz, had this to say, quote, I find it astonishing that the aerospace industry continues to track critical aerospace parts with paper-based systems or with nothing at all. Feels like I'm wearing nothing at all. Or they're tracking it with nothing at all. It's always confused those two things. Anyways, pretty wild, right? Aerospace parts, not even a paper trail.
That is surprising, although I think the same, to a certain extent, still applies to the private airlines as well.
Okay. It's just Stone Age style, huh?
Yeah.
You know, I heard this too, and maybe you can confirm or deny, I don't know. Sort of like nuclear plants are still using floppy disks and like Windows 95 or something.
But not even like the small ones, like the big floppy disks,
Okay.
right? Yeah. No, it's, yeah. Don't dig too deep into any country's infrastructure. I think it's...
Yeah, I guess that's a good point.
It's frightening at times.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But also, it's probably kind of broken. Those things suck. Anyways. Australian liar Craig Wright in the news again this week with a hot and spicy recommended ruling coming out of a magistrate court in southern Florida, ordering fake Toshi himself to fork over half of his Bitcoin holdings and some of the IP rights that were established before 2014. He's got to forfeit it over to the estate of his late business partner, Dave Kleiman. Now, back in 2018, the brother of Dave Kleiman filed a $10 billion lawsuit against Craig Wright, alleging that the Bitcoin SV frontman was attempting to misappropriate funds and IP, which rightfully belonged to the Kleiman estate. Now, the complainant alleges that between the years of 2009 and 2014, Wright and Kleiman worked cooperatively to orchestrate the mining of about 1.1 million Bitcoin, and now Judge Bruce Reinhardt has ruled that 50% of this must be transferred to the Kleiman estate. Now, 500,000 Bitcoin with today's exchange rate puts the total at just over 4.6 billion, a far cry from the 10 billion wanted by the initial complaint, but still nearly 5 billion. What's more, Judge Reinhardt found that Craig Wright acted in bad faith in court, perjured himself, falsified documents related to his crypto holdings. Now, before Wright is actually forced to forfeit the $5 billion in Bitcoin and IP rights over to the Kleimans, this case must make it through the Florida District Court and survive the inevitable appeals by Wright's legal team. Either way, things are not looking good for fake Toshi. Not looking good at all.
I can't help but feel like the Kleiman estate has probably earned itself a permanent position in Craig Wright's burn book. Just a guess. And finally, it almost seems as though no show would be complete without an update on Facebook's Libra coin. It's no secret that the ambitious project has drawn the attention of lawmakers and regulatory authorities from around the globe. And it seems the pressure is starting to take its toll. According to the Financial Times, 2 members of the Libra Association are considering pulling out of the project altogether, although it was not revealed exactly which of the 28 companies are getting cold feet. It doesn't seem as though scrutiny will be letting up anytime soon, though. Earlier this month, the European Union launched an antitrust investigation into Libra's accompanying digital currency wallet, Calibra, citing concerns over the project's scale and its potential consequences. Meanwhile, on August 23rd, U.S. Congresswoman and chair of the House Financial Services Committee, Maxine Waters, published a list of FSC priorities for the coming months. At the very top of the list, well, conducting an ongoing review of Facebook's proposed cryptocurrency and its digital wallet. Last week, Waters met with Swiss regulators to discuss the Libra project. Now, while the meetings reportedly helped underpin the complexity and magnitude of Facebook's plans, Waters revealed in a statement that she still had her doubts about, quote, allowing a large tech company to create a privately controlled alternative global currency. In an effort to alleviate concerns, Libra is beefing up its compliance team. Numerous job postings have popped up over the course of the past couple of weeks that look for additional brainpower for the wallet's legal and compliance teams. Of course, Facebook is also shoring up its lobbying efforts. On Tuesday, Facebook hired DC-based lobbyist John Collins and former head of policy at Coinbase. Along with Collins, Facebook secured the services of consultancy firm FS Vector, where Collins is currently a partner. The company specializes in regulatory compliance as well as public policy and business strategy for the fintech, blockchain, and financial services industries. On the tech front, Facebook is looking for more external contributions, announcing the launch of a bug bounty program that pays security researchers up to $10,000 in rewards. The bug bounty has reportedly generated full support from the Libra Association, which has chosen to expand its beta program in order to welcome public participation to report vulnerabilities in the Libra code via a partnership with the HackerOne bug bounty platform. Now, while the Libra testnet is still under development, there are already dozens of development teams experimenting with its code as part of an unofficial Libra Camp program based out of Israel. All in all, it's safe to say we'll be keeping a close eye on Libra over the course of the coming months, as will the rest of the world. Well, that's it for today.
Absolutely. But you know what? Just speaking quickly about Libra, I mean, no doubt they're going to get the best team on this. On the compliance sector, I think it's really going to come down to the internal question, do the governments want this to exist? Is private money going to be ushered in for the new world?
Exactly. I think it's skill meets will, right?
Good point. Good point. Speaking of will, we will be back very soon. But for now, that's it. As Tracy said, remember to keep up to date with us all across here. We've got our social media down there for you. It's fun. It's spicy. We got tons of stuff happening. You're going to love it. That's a guarantee. Oh, hey, we're still here. No problem. You know what? We'll see you next time. Thanks so much. Auf Wiedersehen. Goodbye.